Yo, what's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to take a look at the Vision Stone Adept. This is the new auto rifle from Trials of Osiris in Rise of Iron. So you can get this weapon from your 7th win on a card, or you can get it as a reward from the Lighthouse. It's a pretty decent auto rifle. I'll talk about the stats and performance, but first let's see the bonuses on this weapon. So this is the Adept version that comes from the Lighthouse. It has Snapshot built in as an intrinsic perk. For the barrel options we have CQB ballistics, smart drift control, and smooth ballistics. Up next is Send It for increased range and accuracy at the expense of handling and ammo capacity, or Injection Mold for more stability and faster handling at the expense of range. In the middle column we have Lightweight for 2x character agility, or Fitted Stock for increased weapon stability, and finally we have Rodeo, which reduces the severity of the weapon's recoil or crowd control, where kills with the weapon grant bonus damage for a short time. If you want plenty of stability, Injection Mold in the first column is pretty nice, but Send It is also very optionable. It gives you some really solid range on this weapon, and depending on your playstyle, either of these really could be worth using. But moving on, we have the awesome weapon visuals again. The Adept weapons just look really cool with the gold paint and the ornamentation. Onto the weapon stats, this is an 88 rate of fire and 8 impact variety of auto rifles, which shares the archetype with Hakon's Hatchet, Red Spectre, and things like that. The Vision Stone has a base range stat of 31, which is pretty decent. Combining this with Send It will give it very good range. The base stability stat is at 55, which is great, and again there's bonuses to boost those stats if you want to. We also have a reload speed of 83, which is really good in this archetype, versus Hakon's Hatchet, which has 66 reload speed, and that's fairly typical in this archetype. So overall, Vision Stone has some really good stats. The base magazine size is a healthy 37 rounds as well. In PvP, the weapon is going to do fairly well. This is an 88 and 8 archetype of auto rifle, and they are actually pretty solid in PvP. It doesn't shred like the Doctrine does, but it does really good damage, and remember that these things did have a small damage buff just before Rise of Iron, so that's always welcomed. Vision Stone again has really solid stats, and the reload speed is one of the nicest things on the weapon. Also, the all-around handling feels pretty good, but there is some fairly severe horizontal recoil or shake which you get with this weapon. Even with its solid stability stats, it's very apparent. One of those top tier Hakon's Hatchet rolls that we saw later in last year's Iron Banner is going to feel a lot more stable than this weapon in particular, which is really the biggest downside that I can attribute to this weapon itself. You do have Rodeo on the weapon, and even though it's not a super effective recoil bonus, it will make a difference with that more horizontal shaking. Outside of this though, honestly the weapon is really nice to use. I enjoy this archetype of auto rifle in the Crucible. Of course they aren't the strongest in the meta game for PvP. A lot of it's down to the fact that pulses, hand cannons and scout rifles can cause a lot of damage in a shot or a burst, which means that you can break sight lines in between damaging a target and getting a kill. And this isn't the case with ARs, because obviously you need to persist in an open gunfight to get damage dealt, which is a large part of why people prefer weapons that deal high damage in every trigger pull as opposed to over time. It's worth having that said while we're on the subject. It's really an archetypal problem, not a problem that this weapon has in particular. Overall, I think the Vision Stone is a really solid auto rifle. It's not godly, it's not going to do something crazy which other weapons can't, but it's a satisfying weapon to use, and it's definitely worth trying out. So there you go guys, just a few opinions about the Vision Stone Adept auto rifle from Trials in Rise of Iron. So let me know down below if you've used this thing, or what your favourite weapon is from Trials of Osiris so far. If you have enjoyed the video, a like is always appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe for a lot more Destiny and Rise of Iron content. For now though, you guys have an awesome day.